Let's get creative with Canvas. You're an artist going to a prestigious art festival, and you're going to be creating 3 pieces of work to show off to the judges.
You're given 3 canvases to start the game. They're blank. You start creating your own work from there. And you're trying to meet the judges' criteria. And the judges could be a little bit snooty at times. You want to meet with what they like based on the symbols that you're taking. The way that the cards work, there are 5 on offer at all times. You can grab the card to the left for free. If you want something that meets your work of art a little bit further down the line, you have to pay your way up the chain to get art. So for example, if you want the 4th piece of art, you need to put a palette on 1, 2, and 3 before you're able to take the 4th piece of art and put it within your canvas to eventually give to a judge.
And from there, you take your piece of art and you match it against the different criteria to see which ribbons you will receive. From those ribbons, at the end of the game, they are going to count towards victory points. The person with the most victory points is going to win the game.
So one thing I really like about this game is the component quality and just the variation. You get the linen book, you get the rollout mat, you get all these amazing cards with cool art on them. You get the sleeves that you can put the cards and artwork into. So I find it a very beautiful production, but it's also a very functional production.
Absolutely. The rollout mat is canvas, so it fits that theme as well. It really draws into making you feel like you're creating pieces of art. Who's this game for? We enjoy this game at a 2 or 3 player count.
Yeah, it's more tactical, I think, at 2 and 3 players because the way the drafting works, when you're playing at a lower player count, I can figure out what somebody else is trying to do. And I know eventually that the cards up at the top are going to work their way down to me and I can start planning for that. I might have to pay a palette or 2 to get them, but I can start building for it. When you're playing at 4 and 5 people, we brought this to a group and people were playing. Once you're playing with that many people, you kind of lose that tactical nature because let's say you got 3 or 4 other people until your next turn. You might not know exactly what's coming out until maybe a turn or 2 before. So when you're building up, you can't be maybe as strategic as you would when you're at a lower player count. I still think it's good at all player counts, but you lose a little bit of that strategic nature when you're higher up.
Yes, and I find that it's harder to block other players when you have those higher player counts. When there's only 1 or 2 and you can see what they're up to, then you have that ability to maybe buy that card that you know will really benefit them, even though it might not be the ideal card for yourself. But again, in those higher player counts, that is not really an option as cards are coming out quite frequently.
Would you say this is mean? I don't know. I've grabbed cards just to draft them so she doesn't get them, but I usually kind of crash and burn because now I'm not focusing on what I'm doing.
I think you can play this mean, but overall, it's a fun, enjoyable game.
I also think this game works for gamers, but it's also, this would be an awesome gift to give to somebody with just the style, I'm going to grab it, of the art box. Looks wonderful. Everything that's inside, the board, it's just a nice overall production. And the rules aren't that complex that I think that anybody that's playing anything a touch above Monopoly can probably figure it out. But for gamers like us, there's probably enough at that lower strategic player count for me to just still be interested. I haven't lost interest playing this.
For Marathon Meeples, this game goes the distance.